Don't wait for a crisis. What adult children should watch for before parents need to move. There's a moment that many adult children may remember very clearly. It's the moment when concern suddenly becomes urgency. A fall, a hospital stay, a phone call that doesn't sound quite right. And in that moment, families often ask, how did we get here so quickly? But what I have to tell you is it usually didn't happen quickly at all. Hi there, and welcome back. I'm Penelope Tzougros, PhD, CHFC, CLU, financial planner, and author of Your Home Sweet Home. Before we begin, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. And I want to add something important. If you have a question about your parents' situation, please send me the questions. I'll look at the comments and I'll read and answer them. I often create videos based on what families are going through. Because chances are, if you've been dealing with something, you're not the only one. Here's the truth. Most families don't realize until it's too late. Housing decisions become significantly harder when they're made during a crisis. Not impossible, but harder. More emotional, more rushed, more limited, and often more stressed than they needed to be. The goal is not to react well at that point. The goal is to recognize the signs early enough to act calmly. We miss the signs. Why? Well, now here's where things get tricky. Most adult children feel like they're staying connected. You visit, you call, you check in, and everything seems fine. But there's something important happening behind the scenes. When you visit, your parents are often at their best. They prepare, they tidy up, they show you the version of their life that feels familiar to you. That's not deceit, that's dignity. And because of that, the real story can stay hidden. Hidden struggle is a reality. What you don't see are the small daily pressures. Fatigue from managing the house, putting off repairs, trying to keep up with everything, medication confusion, interrupted sleep. Not dramatic, not urgent, but accumulating. And over time, those small things begin to change the reality of living there. What to watch out for. So instead of waiting for something big, I want to give you a better lens. Watch for patterns, not events. Let's walk through what that actually looks like. Physical and energy shifts. First, energy. You might notice they are tiring more easily. Simple tasks take longer. They avoid stairs or uneven surfaces. Nothing alarming on its own, but together, it may be telling you there is life getting harder, little by little. Home maintenance on the decline. Next, look at the house itself. Is the lawn being maintained the same way? Are repairs being delayed? Does the home feel just a little less managed? There's one of the earliest indicators because the house doesn't change suddenly. It reflects what's becoming harder for the person living in it. And then there's driving and mobility. Another subtle shift is driving. Less willingness to drive. avoiding unfamiliar areas, more reliance on others. This one matters more than people think because driving isn't just transportation. It is independence. Oh yeah. Health and medical science. Health management, missed medication, more doctor visits, difficulty coordinating care. Again, not necessarily a crisis, but a pattern that's evolving. Emotional signals, and finally, listen to what they say. There's getting to be too much. I'm just tired. It's harder than it used to be. These are comments that are often the most honest signals you'll get. It's just getting harder. Let me pause here for a second. If you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I've noticed some of these, you're exactly who this video is for. And again, drop a comment or send your situation. Because sometimes just naming what you're seeing is the first step toward clarity. Excuse me. Tipping point. Well, now here's what happens when signs go unaddressed. Eventually, there's a tipping point, a fall, a hospitalization, a moment when everything is overwhelming and suddenly decisions must be made quickly, options are limited, stress is high. What could have been thoughtful becomes reactive. Why early conversations matter. This is why early conversations are so important, not because something is wrong, but because something is changing. When you start earlier, your parents can participate in decisions, explore options calmly, choose what feels right, and that last one matters most. They choose, not react. How to start the conversation? Well, let's talk about actually bringing this up, because this is where most people get stuck. Don't start with, we need to talk about moving. That shuts things down immediately. Instead, start with the future. Ask, what do you want for the next 10, 15 years? What do you want it to look like? What part of the house is getting harder? If you could make life easier, what would you change? These questions don't create resistance. They invite reflection. Planning without pressure is the better choice. And here's something really important. Planning does not mean change. Planning means understanding options, knowing what's available, being prepared. Even a simple plan answers for the things, what would we do if something changed? What resources do we have? Who helps coordinate decisions? That alone creates stability. And so what is your role as the adult child? Your role is not to take control. Your role is to notice, ask, support, help gather information. You're not solving it for them. You're making sure they don't have to solve it under pressure. The most difficult housing decisions are made in crisis. The best ones start with awareness. If you're noticing small changes, that's not a problem. That's an opportunity. If this resonates with you, I want to hear from you. Send your questions through a comment below. Tell me what you're seeing with your parents. Tell me where you feel stuck. I use your real situations to guide future videos, so you're not figuring this out alone. You can also learn more in my book, Your Home Sweet Home, where I walk through structured way how to evaluate these decisions. Or Or you can visit wealthychoices.com for more resources. And before you go, please like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment below. What's one small change you've noticed with your parents recently? What's that? Why does it matter?